Now, we all dream of playing in the famous red and white, so whenever there's someone in the studio that has managed to do it, we have to have a deep dive into their time at the club. Danny, this is your time. This is your time. Now, you made your league debut against Wigan. You assisted Wazza, who actually, I'm going to let you into something. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, right? The other two that are on this show, Alex Crook and Angelina Kelly, they tried to tell me, was you in here that day?
I don't know. I don't think
you
so.
was.
No.
They tried to tell me that Wayne Wazza Rooney is not in their top 10 players of all time at Man United.
What?
Yeah,
Like that, I almost said, producers, don't call them back, don't let them on. Yeah, crazy.
They should have cut that.
Unbelievable. And it went out, and they still don't live by it now. I can't believe it. But yeah, you assisted him. I mean, what was it like running out at Old Trafford?
Does he make your top 10?
Without a doubt.
Top 5.
Should make everyone's top 10, no?
That's insane. I can't believe that.
That's what they said, bro. Angelina Kelly and Alex Crook, absolute disgraces.
Yeah, you got to put it out there. They need a bit of heat for that. No?
They do, yeah.
Nah, for me, yeah, look, it's always my dream to win out at Old Trafford as a kid, when I signed there as a 12-year-old kid. But yeah, I think to then actually get your Premier League debut and to set up Wayne Rooney at Old Trafford. I know as a defender, you know, as a striker, you come on, you want to score the winner, like we've seen Rashford, you know, so and so, Welbeck, you know what I mean? You come on and try to bang a goal. But as a defender, to come on and then set up Wazza, pass off Paul Scholes, 1 touch, 2 touches into Wazza, and he headers it in at 4-0, I think it was, against Wigan. And then Ronaldo, Rio, Patrice, Scholes, Giggsy all running over to celebrate with you.
Wow.
I don't think it can get much better than that.
Incredible.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know I can top that. And it was a memory that will live with me forever. I wish I had more of them. But yeah, it was special.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. So how do you compare? So obviously, you were in that Leicester squad. How do you compare like your time at Manchester United to what the dynamic must have been in that Leicester squad?
Yeah, so when I grew up at United, I didn't realise what environment I was in. You know, that winning mentality, every day training. You probably heard it many times, but actually it was.
Yeah.
You couldn't lose a session. And I'm telling you now, like, you got hammered if you lost any training session. And sometimes the coaches didn't even need to get involved because the players led it. And then when you go away from the club and you move on to other clubs, then you realise actually, wow, it's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
So when you end up at Leicester, I've won a few trophies before Leicester, at Sunderland, Newcastle and QPR. And then to get to Leicester and be part of that, and what I've seen every day from that group of players was training mattered. Yeah. Every day we had scoreboards, like on a Tuesday we had like a mini World Cup, and whoever was in most of obviously every changed the team every week, but whoever was like in the team that kept winning, he obviously got a mark to his name. So you kept winning, you don't like it's because of you. So yeah, it meant a lot. The Tuesdays, we loved the Tuesday because we were trying to win like this little tournament of 4 teams, and it just, that carried on into the game on a Saturday, and that was as close as I felt to being around United and what they had to do every day to win trophy after trophy and go again and go again.
Was there anyone in training who like stood out but like didn't quite get the limelight when you just like they're unbelievable trainer?
Good question, that.
Didn't get the limelight.
Because obviously, like you say, you train with Ronaldo, you get some limelight. But was there anyone like low key where you're just like, this guy is a joke?
Yeah, no, I think most of the lads had the props now, so yeah.
It's not a bad team, was it?
Yeah,
So.
Riyad, Kante, obviously. But I think probably one player you'd probably want on a Tuesday in your team was Mark Albrighton.
What a pro.
Yeah.
Just a top pro.
And he was just constantly just at you, whipping it in, shooting. He was just an energy. Like him and Shinji, I think, the way they worked hard and what they did every day, the energy they brought. Because like you said, Vards wasn't actually a great trainer, so to speak. Vards is put him on a big pitch, let him hunt everything down and hunt people down. Like I said, Kante and Riyad were the two outstanding ones. But I think the other two were the workhorse. You wanted in your teams because they give 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of Fergie, we have to ask about Sir Alex, man.
Yeah.
Like, what did he ever say anything to you that stuck with you, or what was it like when you first met him? What was it like being around him? Like, what? That must have just been insane.
Yeah, no, he still scares me now, mate.
You bump into him.
Yeah, bump into him, yeah.
I was just...
He always gives me a clip around the airwell still. Like, he knows I'm trouble, but nah, he's just he's just, do you know what it was for me? I look back, I didn't realise how clever he was with the things he would say to you, like the psychology behind everything. You know, I think the way you get everyone prepared for a game, his mentality, like you heard about how he say to Fletch, be ready in 3 weeks, be ready for that game. And everyone kind of knew where they were.
He's always thinking ahead.
He was always thinking, he was way steps ahead. He wasn't just about, like everyone says now, I'm thinking about Saturday. No, he's thinking about, he looks ready now. He needs probably a bit more time. No, you know, you got sports science, and Fergie was everything. he was sports science, but he had it all. He wasn't about, let's going to calculate how much running he's done today. It was with his own eyes.
Yeah.
Who I think's ready? Is he quite ready? You know, the players. Is that young kid ready for today? Is there that first team player a bit too confident because he's had 3 good weeks? I'm going to pull him out.
Did you ever get frustrated with that? Like, because obviously you're young, chomping at the bit, got a taste against Wigan. You're like, give me more. How difficult was it to navigate when maybe you didn't get more game time, or you had to have some tough conversations as well through the tough times?
Yeah, it was. But when I look back now, I think he was right, because when I didn't realise is when I got most of my games up to January, and obviously when you go a bit older and you realise what it means when you're trying to win titles. You're then not really is he going to risk a young player in February, March?
The business end of the season.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you're not thinking that.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, I played 5 or 6 games, like first half of the season, what have I done?
Yeah.
And instead of knocking on his door and trying to find out, you just get angry. But then as you get older and you look back and you think, okay, I understand what he was doing, because if you drop points against, I don't know, Everton at home, it could be end of the league. So
stakes are
you understand there when you get older.
In hindsight, you look back and you understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I look back, I think I got around 10 games, but I got 10 games in a squad that was one of the best in the world.
Of all time,
yeah. And maybe now things would be different because it's not that at that level. The second 11 then probably win the league.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I learned a lot from being around that group of players that were just constantly wanting to win every day.
Yeah, I want to piggyback literally on that point. You actually went back earlier and you said, like, in the training sessions, Fergie was incredible. It probably is the reason why Man United have suffered over the last 10 years, because he was everything, and then you take that out. But you'd say sometimes the players would lead the sessions and the players led it. Do you think, and it's a bit of a loaded question, but do you see those kind of figures in the current crop of Manchester United players?
Do you know what? I'd like to say, yeah, I was at Carrington a lot last year, but with the 18s or the 21s, and it's kind of separate from the first team. Yes, they train and they move over and train, but when I see characters like Martinez and Bruno, like, when I was coming through, and like Gabriel Heinz, listen, mate, he would let you know in training, I'm gonna go through you.
Yeah.
Where's Brown with the tackle now? Obviously, football's changed. We're not allowed to tackle on a Saturday anymore because we get a card. So now, you're not going to are you going to do that now in training when you're not allowed to do it on a Saturday? Whereas then, if he smashed you, I could smash my winger, on a Saturday and get away with it for a couple of times. So football's changed, but I don't know. When I see people like Martinez and Bruno who look like they always want to win, I'd like to think that's infectious and spreads through the team. But like I said, I just think it was also down to that football's changed a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? I've got one for you. Out of the current crop of players, is there anyone that you think would have made the squad back when you were playing for Manchester United?
Oh, that's a great question. Johnny?
Take the easy one, sir. Take the easy one.
No. I genuinely do think. I think Bruno. There seems to be a mixed feeling about Bruno.
There is, isn't it?
I'm tired of it.
Is that fair?
It's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
Listen, what that guy's doing, what he's done. I don't care if he throws his arms up. At least, that's what they would. We'd rather that back then when I was around that 13 squad than someone that's just not bothered, or who doesn't always want the ball. Someone that always wants the ball. Roy Keane would say, "I want to look up. I want someone who wants the ball." He doesn't hide, doesn't shirk. He doesn't, and he takes responsibility. And not just that. From what I know, he's a good person around the club.
Role model.
Stuff around, like, even helping like the foundation, or when people come in. Not many people come to Carrington, he'll go and have some time for them, and I think people don't see that enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's also captaincy roles where he does that side of things that we don't always see because we just see him on a Saturday.
I think he's one of the most overhated players.
Underrated too, I would say.
Yeah, underrated and overhated. And like you said, even within our own fan base, Bruno's become like a little bit of a talking point where it's not a big talking point where some people are like, the way he plays hot potato football, he's giving it away all the time. It's like we can't move forward with him.
Yeah.
And other people are like, what you're saying is I don't get it. For you, who took you under their wing when you sort of started getting into the senior squad? What guy stood out to you and said, "Come, Danny, come with me, come with me"?
There's a few, to be fair. Yeah, I think notably was Wes, because he's local. Wes Brown, Rio helped me a lot, and Patrice Evra.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pat, man.
Uncle Pat.
Even now when
Was
I
he a
see
madman
him,
even then?
Even now when I see him, he's like, Cafu, because he used to call me Cafu. I don't know, it's just to give me confidence, or I don't know. But yeah, even now I speak to him, his first reply is Cafu, and I see him now. But I think the fullback, when you're a fullback, you wanted to help me as a fullback. And obviously Gaz Nev actually done my contract. He negotiated my contract actually with Fergie.
He did what?
So
Was he an agent, or he just happened? You
Nah.
just got advice off him to say, "Look, listen, go in there."
He's always been about it then, yeah.
Yeah, always. So yeah, like.
Tell us how that happened.
So as a young kid, especially local, Sir Alex hates agents.
Yeah,
or hate
we know that.
agents, but
Yeah.
obviously we know why, because they
Yeah.
want more money at the club. So, but as a young kid, when you start to knock on the door or get in around the first team, you're scared that you're gonna annoy him.
Yeah.
So
Like go ask for too much or demand too much.
I'm like, yeah, Gaffer wants. Yeah, Sir Alex says I want to give you a new contract, and you say to him, yeah, my agent will see you, and you're scared to say that. Whereas now it's the first thing you say.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if I say that, he's gonna bin me off. So I don't know what happened, and spoke to Gaz, and Gaz was like, I'll go and see him for you.
What?
Yeah.
How did you feel? Was
that
you like,
made
are
me
you sure?
feel more comfortable though. And he did, and he actually, it was me, Gaznev, and Sir Alex.
Oh, in the room?
In the room, mate.
What?
So what, your agents, what did you even say to your agent at the time?
No, I
Don't
didn't
worry.
have one. I didn't have one.
Oh, you didn't have one? Oh, this is
I
early
wasn't even
doors.
thinking about. I was
Really?
Yeah, I was still a scholar. I was about to sign pro because I was gonna go and I was after Antwerp. I was gonna go and sign for Sunderland, and I had to sign a pro to go on loan to Sunderland.
Right.
I didn't really know what to do. And yeah, I'm just sat there like this, I'm in the middle, like you.
Your parents involved in that decision?
No, it was just me and them two. And then he's just like, and he actually got me more money to be fair to him.
Oh my God.
Did you ask for a cut of it?
Yeah, no, he didn't. But, no, he actually didn't. Which is when you look at Gaznev now, you think he probably would have. But no, like I said it was like the fullbacks and that with Rio were the defence were the ones that kind of took me under their wing, which was nice.
I rate that so much from him, you know.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
incredible, that.
I know. Yeah,
That
that's
is
guys
mad.
guys that you see now is always that guys then.
Business savvy,
yeah,
innit?
Someone who would have had a decent contract would have been Cristiano Ronaldo and went on to have a few more decent contracts.
Just a few.
What was that like in training against him? Because obviously he was young then himself, on his way up. Got his first Ballon d'Or at United. That last season he had for us, and then them couple of seasons, that's the 7 and the 8, and just unplayable. But in training every day, Rio always talks about it, about like how his mindset was, how he's doing extras, the intensity, the skill level. It weren't just all step overs. Like, what was it like against him?
It was just his attitude to the game and everything around it. He was probably the first one that, well, for me, that you seen it. He took everything else serious. You know, his diet. You know, he had the chef and he was like, everyone says first in, last out, and he was. But it was just this summer where he went away one summer, and it mustn't have been a Euros or a World Cup. It mustn't have been. And he came back, and obviously when he signed, he was skinny and like, you know,
proper
a bit gang. You know what I mean?
Proper.
And
Kit was too baggy.
He had the height.
Blonde highlights.
He had the height and all that.
Curtains
The
coming
curtains,
down.
yeah.
He came back one summer, and he was just like, his lats are buff. Like, what's he been doing? Like, it was like, there's no way that's just happening.
Meanwhile, you
6
lot being in
weeks.
Ibiza or whatever, or just chilling.
My Marbella, and I think what he does, he just worked all summer in the gym and his diet, his food to build up his strength. Because obviously, I think the thing was he was getting kicked on it. You know, everyone was coming to Old Trafford, whoever it was, Bolton, Blackburn, all them kind of clubs, and just laying into him. And I think he obviously wanted to bulk up so he could, you know, deal with that. And yeah, like I said, and that for me, that was when I was like, wow, this guy's serious. Because yes, he had all the tricks, had all the skill, and I was like, great to see him be around. But I think for me, that what he was doing in the gym kind of was for me was like, wow, he's not going to mess about. And that's why I think he is one of us, because he's created himself. He had the ability, but I think he's made who he is today. Whereas look at like Messi. he's just naturally like that. Whereas Ronaldo went from this to this, and he developed so much himself.
It's just a joke. He's a proper leader to a role model to like all pros, really. And lastly, before we move on to look ahead to Amarim's first game, for you, I know it's a little bit away for United, but you won the Premier League, bro. Like you won the Premier League with Leicester, 5,000 to 1 chance. What was it like playing against United? Not only just in that season, but in general. And what's it like to win the Premier League against all the odds, man?
Yeah, so to play against United was one of my favourite games.
Did you think, see what you lot could have had?
Yeah,
see
no,
that?
it is. It is. You have to have that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, I got to Old Trafford. I remember, I don't know if you remember, but I was at Newcastle. I was talking about the Leicester and Newcastle, and it was 1-1, and I cleared one off the line of Chicharito at the end of the game.
Wow.
But yeah, at home, and we drew 1-1. And Sir Alex was fuming.
It's crazy. Why
I
did
seen you in that tunnel everyone talks about the pizza getting happened.
Yeah.
He was fuming. And I was buzzing because he was quietly happy for me, but he was raging in it.
Yeah.
So, and then I just always remember the Leicester game when we was going to Old Trafford to win the league.
Mad.
Now that to me was the most scared I've ever been, because you don't leave Old Trafford and then go and win anything really as a kid, and to then try and then come back to Old Trafford. The first chance you get to win the league is at Old Trafford.
Wow.
Me and Danny Drinkwater were like this, and the coach like,
Oh yeah, because Danny as well.
yeah, we were saying the coach like, is this real? Like, is this real? And I just remember I had all my friends, family, tickets everywhere, and I was thinking, gee, if we win this, it's when it sunk in.
Yeah.
We could win the league at with the club that I grew up, like, who I love.
That's poetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That come full circle for you, didn't it?
Mental. So it was just a bit of a pinch me moment, and then it was like what we've done that season, and obviously then to go on and obviously the Chelsea-Tottenham game, to do it the night after, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was just a dream come true, and that group of players that we had, man, it was special. We're still in a WhatsApp group now.
Oh yeah.
That's
amazing.
But you all saying to Jamie Vardy, just keep going, bro.
I know, we've got a reunion in 2026, we're all supposed to go out, and
He's still playing.
He's still playing, but like I said, we're all still really close. And last week he came home, and we're all still chatting for a round.
That's great.
But it was amazing.
Love that Premier League winners medal, man. That is what it's all about.